The observation deck of station Kepler 442 offered an unobstructed view of the swirling purple nebula beyond. But Hazel wasn't looking at the stars. She sat cross-legged on the cold metal floor, her maintenance toolkit spread around her like scattered bones, methodically repairing a damaged atmospheric regulator, with hands that refused to stop shaking. "My mother is worried about you, human," came the soft, melodic voice. Hazel didn't look up. She knew who it was, the small Valkyrie child, who had been watching her from the ventilation grates for the past 3 cycles. The girl finally emerged, her 4 crystalline eyes blinking in sequence, skin shifting through anxious shades of amber and blue. "Tell your mother I'm fine," Hazel muttered, though her voice cracked on the last word. She twisted a bolt too hard, and the wrench slipped, gashing her knuckle. Blood welled up, bright red against her pale skin. She didn't even flinch. The child who had introduced herself as Riva in their previous brief encounters floated closer. The Valkyrie didn't walk like humans did. Their bodies defied gravity in ways that still unsettled the station's human contingent. "You have not entered sleep state in 72 hours, Riva observed, tilting her elongated head. "You consume no sustenance. You leak water from your optical organs when you believe no one observes. These are signs of malfunction." "Yes, I'm not malfunctioning." Hazel wiped the blood on her uniform pants, leaving a dark streak. "I'm working." "You mourn," Riva corrected gently. For the male human, Leo. The name hit Hazel like a physical blow. Her hand stilled over the regulator. Leo, her partner, her best friend, the idiot who had pushed her out of the way when the solar panel array collapsed during the meteor shower. The man who had saved her life by sacrificing his own. 3 days ago, 72 hours, every second stretched into eternity. "We do not understand human grief," Riva continued, her voice carrying the innocent honesty of youth. "Mother says it is dangerous, that you harm yourselves with it, that you refuse help, refuse healing, refuse to continue. She says humans are the only species that dies from sadness." Hazel's laugh was bitter and sharp. "Your mother's not wrong. Then why do you do this?" Riva's skin flashed confused orange. "Why not accept the neural dampening? The counselors of sorrow could ease this pain. The Talaxian grief-eaters could consume these dark memories. The crone can sever emotional attachments entirely. Why do humans choose to suffer?" For the first time since the accident, Hazel looked directly at the alien child. Really looked at her. Riva couldn't have been more than 7 cycles old in Valkyrie, years may be equivalent to a human tenure. Her crystalline eyes reflected Hazel's haggard face back at her, dark circles, hollow cheeks, lips cracked from dehydration. "Because forgetting him would be worse than the pain," Hazel said quietly. Riva's skin rippled with incomprehension. "This makes no sense. Pain serves no function once the danger has passed." Hazel set down her tools and pulled her knees to her chest, defensive posture that every species in the galaxy seemed to recognize. "Leo used to say that humans are the galaxy's emotional hoarders. We collect feelings like other species collect data. Joy, rage, love, grief. We keep all of it, even when it hurts. But why?" Because Hazel struggled to find words in galactic standard that could encompass the concept. "Because those feelings prove that what we had mattered, that he mattered. If I let the grief-eaters take my pain, I'd lose the last pieces of him I have left. The memories of his laugh, his terrible jokes, the way he hummed when he worked. How he always saved the good ration packs for me." Her voice broke. The tears came again, hot and unwelcome. Riva drifted closer, and for a long moment, she simply observed. Then, hesitantly, she extended one of her 6 delicate limbs and touched Hazel's shoulder gesture she must have learned from watching humans interact. "Mother says humans are foolish," Riva whispered. "But I think you are brave, to carry such weight and not collapse, to feel so deeply and still continue." Hazel wiped her eyes roughly. "Doesn't feel like bravery. The strongest materials in the universe are not those that never break," Riva said. And Hazel recognized the cadence of a learned phrase, something the child's mother must have said. "They are those that break and reform, each time becoming more resilient." "Did your mum tell you that too?" "Yes, she is a metallurgical engineer, but she also says it applies to humans." Riva's skin shifted to a warm, gentle green. "She says that is why humans are the only species to survive 3 extinction-level events on their homeworld, why you thrive in conditions that kill others." Why you were the only race to cross the void in primitive metal shells powered by controlled explosions before you even understood faster-than-light physics. Hazel huffed a small, sad laugh. We're stubborn idiots. You endure, Reva corrected. You adapt. You survive. She paused, skin flickering thoughtfully. Leo, he knew the array would collapse. Mother reviewed the station logs. He had 17 seconds warning. He could have saved himself, but he didn't. Hazel whispered. No, he chose you instead. Is this not also very human, to sacrifice for another, even when logic suggests preservation of self? Hazel closed her eyes, and for the first time since the accident, she let herself really remember Leo's grin as he shoved her backward, the terrible sound of metal screaming, his voice over the comcom, accepting, saying simply, "Worth it, Hazel, you're worth it. We're all going to die anyway," Hazel said finally, opening her eyes to meet Reva's curious gaze. Every species, every individual. The difference is, humans choose what we die for. Leo chose me, and I choose to remember him, even if it hurts. Maybe especially because it hurts. Reva was quiet for a long moment, her skin cycling through colors that Hazel couldn't interpret. Finally, she said, "Mother sent me with this." She produced a small thermal container from somewhere within her iridescent robes. "Human sustenance. She says you must eat, or your body will fail before your spirit can recover." Hazel took the container with shaking hands. Inside was soup, actual Earth-style vegetable soup, which must have cost a fortune in trade credits to synthesize this far from human space. "Thank your mother for me," Hazel said softly. "She also says," Reva added, floating back slightly, "that when you are ready, there is much work to be done. The station still requires maintenance. The memorial garden needs human input for design, and Leo's research notes they are encrypted. Only you have the access codes." Hazel nodded slowly, understanding the message. Leo's work would be lost if she didn't continue it. His contributions to the station, his discoveries about the nebula's properties, his dream of building a sustainable human alien colony here at the edge of known space, all of it would die with her grief if she let it. "I'm not ready yet," Hazel admitted. "Mother says that is acceptable," Reva replied. "Humans require time to process, but she also says," the child's skin flashed with what might have been humor, "that Leo would be very angry if he let his work disappear because you were being dramatic." Hazel's laugh was watery but genuine. "He would say that, wouldn't he?" As Reva departed, Hazel opened the container and took a small sip of soup. It was terrible. The synthesizer had clearly never encountered actual vegetables, but it was warm, and it was an offering of care from a species that didn't even comprehend the emotion she was drowning in. She looked out at the purple nebula, at the stars beyond, at the vast and indifferent universe that had taken Leo from her, and for the first time in 72 hours, she felt something other than grief, determination. Humans endured. They adapted, they survived, and they remembered. Hazel set down the soup and picked up her tools. The atmospheric regulator still needed repairs. The station still needed maintaining. Leo's research still needed completing. The pain would remain. She would carry it, cherish it even, as proof that she had loved someone worth mourning. But she would also continue, because that, too, was human. To break, and reform, and become stronger in the broken places. To choose what mattered, even in the face of death, to say fuck you to the universe and keep going anyway. Humanity? Fuck yeah.